The words ripped through the calm morning like an alarm, sharp and urgent, completely catching me off guard just as I was about to slide into my Lamborghini and head to what should have been a routine charity event speech. They say your life can change in a split second, and trust me, they're not kidding. I'm Ethan Harper, 42, founder of Nexus Tech Solutions, worth more than I'll ever need. But that morning, I was just a guy in a charcoal suit, black Louboutin shoes, and a headache from too little sleep and too many responsibilities. No bodyguards, no film crew, just me and my silver Lamborghini parked outside a quiet Airbnb in Crestwood Hills, a place so peaceful you could almost pretend the world was free of trouble. Almost. It was 9:17 a.m. I glanced at my phone, breathed in the fresh scent of mowed grass, and opened my car door. I was halfway inside, one hand on the leather steering wheel, the other reaching for the ignition, when I heard it. "Don't get in the car." I whipped around. A kid, maybe 7 years old, was sprinting across the street like the pavement was burning beneath him, tears streaming down his face, blue jacket flapping wildly. I just froze, staring. I mean, you don't expect a kid to come barreling toward you, begging you not to sit down, right? He was panting. "Please, please, don't. There's something under your seat." I saw a man put it there early this morning. He had gloves, wires, I think a box. "Don't get in, please." You might think it's funny, but the raw fear in his eyes stopped me cold. I leaned over, just enough, and there it was, a small black box, metallic, with a red light blinking in the shadows. Yeah, that happened. My whole body went numb. My private security rolled up in what felt like seconds. Two black SUVs, men moving quickly, but with that eerie calm that screams trouble. The lead guy checked under the seat, gave me a look that said, "This is bad," and confirmed, "Sir, it's a device." Motion triggered. Definitely an explosive. My hands started shaking. Police swarmed, cordoned off the street, bomb squad, sirens, neighbors peeking through blinds. But I just stood there, staring at this kid, this little boy who came out of nowhere and, without a doubt, saved my life. His name was Liam Carter, lived 3 houses down with his mom, who worked night shifts at the hospital and was still asleep. Liam, it turns out, woke up early, sat by the window sketching, and saw a man in a dark hoodie tampering with my car. At first, he thought it was a carjacker, but then he noticed wires and a blinking light, details no kid should have to process. He tried calling 911 on his tablet, but it crashed, so he ran, trusting his instincts and crashing into my life. Let me backtrack a bit. I've seen things money can't fix, things you can't prepare for, but nothing shakes you like looking at a kid whose only weapons were his voice and his guts. He stood there, quiet now, staring at his sneakers. I knelt down. "You saved my life, you know that." He nodded, but I could see the funnet of what happened, but of maybe having done something wrong. The police later confirmed it wasn't a prank. It was a professional job, wired to detonate the moment I closed the door and sat down. No warning, no demands, just a silent goodbye. That night, holed up in a hotel with security everywhere, I watched the neighborhood footage on repeat. There it was, 5:03 a.m., a hooded figure with a slight limp, gone before dawn. Then it hit me, like a punch you didn't see coming. That walk, that frame, the jawline under the streetlight. Nathan Reed. Someone I once trusted, someone I had to cut loose when greed overpowered loyalty. Nathan was one of my first engineers, brilliant, but reckless. He tried to sell our tech secrets, got caught, lost everything, including his family. I thought he'd vanished into the world, but fate's not that forgiving. He'd been out of prison for 8 months, last seen a couple of weeks ago. Revenge? Sure. But he chose to settle it without a word, just a device waiting for a door to slam. The next morning, I drove back to Crestwood Hills, not in the Lamborghini, trust me, but a black SUV. I knocked on a modest brick house, and Liam's mom, Sarah, opened the door, still in her scrubs, eyes heavy with exhaustion and worry. Before she could apologize for her son causing trouble, I stopped her. He saved my life. I owe him everything. Upstairs, Liam was clutching a stuffed bear, looking smaller than ever. I sat beside him. "You're not in trouble. You're a hero." He didn't speak, just blinked. I said, "You trusted your gut. I wish more people would." He sniffed. "I thought you'd be mad." I told him, "No, I'm grateful. And here's a secret. I was scared too, but you helped me be brave." Downstairs, over bitter coffee, I learned they'd been through more than most. Liam's dad died in a construction accident. Sarah was juggling 2 jobs to keep them afloat. "I don't want charity," she said fiercely. "We're not looking for a story. I promised. I'm not here for headlines. I just want to help." Of course, word got out. Someone leaked the footage, and the internet loves a hero, especially a little boy in a blue jacket. Suddenly, Liam's face was everywhere, the kid who saved a billionaire. It got messy. I tried to shield them, kept things quiet. Behind the scenes, I paid off Sarah's mortgage, set up a college fund for Liam, and made sure they'd never stress about bills again. No fanfare, no interviews, just quiet help. But I did one thing publicly. I invited Liam to the gala to stand beside me. Before my speech, I told the crowd, "Let me introduce someone braver than anyone here." Liam stepped out, tiny suit, big eyes, the crowd on its feet. I said, "Some are born with wealth, some with purpose. When courage meets purpose, miracles happen." Afterward, we walked into the night-no silver Lamborghini, just a limo waiting. I asked Liam if he'd ever ridden in one. "Nope," he said. I grinned. "Let's fix that." He smiled, and for the first time, I felt lighter. But here's the thing, and maybe it'll nag at you like it does me. The man who tried to end my story is still out there. The past doesn't stay buried, and doing the right thing can make you a target. The world isn't just good guys and bad guys, it's a tangle of choices, grudges, and the split-second courage of a boy in a blue jacket. So, what would you have done in my place? Would you have believed him? Stepped away? Maybe the real question is, what does justice look like when it's personal? Let me know your thoughts. Is this justice, revenge, or just another messy chapter in a world that rarely offers clean endings? If this story hit you, share your take below. Where do you stand on right and wrong, on courage, on what you do for a stranger? Keep the conversation going. The line between victim and hero, bystander and savior, might be thinner than you think. Stay curious, stay kind, and keep your eyes open. You never know who might save your life next.